Hello and welcome to Twilight Sessions. My name is Mason and I am a witch, healer, and psychic channel. And today I have a message for you. Today's reading is for projects. So if you have an art project or any kind of project that you're working on right now that feels a little stuck, or you might feel like you're losing inspiration, or you're just having a hard time getting back into the flow, this is a good reading for you. And this reading might also be good if you are wanting to start a project and you might have some ideas, but you're not really sure how to start. So this reading is for us creative types. Whatever this is, this could be an album you're working on, a song you're working on, a book, a YouTube channel, a video game that you're writing, literally any kind of art project. It could even be for a project at work. So before we begin, I just wanted to also welcome to our altar space. I've got an Archangel Michael candle here. This is a very special candle. I got this at a bookstore yesterday, and it was blessed and dressed by the shop girl. And it was truly one of the most magical experiences of my life. I don't know if you guys just saw like a flicker. So yeah, anyway, Archangel Michael is here to bless the reading and deliver some truth. So just wanted to call him into this space together. So as I was shuffling the cards before I hit go, the reading fell out. You know how it happened. So without further ado, let's begin. So the beginning of this reading starts with the Seven of Pentacles. And this card is urging you to step back and look at what you've already done. So while you might be feeling frustrated right now that you are not able to continue with your project, you are feeling a little bit stuck, or you're not having, like, you lost the inspiration, you lost that spark, instead of focusing on that aspect of like, I don't know what to do next, I'm having a hard time continuing, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, instead of focusing on that, look at what you've already done. Look at what you've already written or recorded or whatever, planned, programmed, etc. Just look at it. Look at the sketches. Look at the painting that you already have. Even if it's not even close to being done, even if it's literally the roughest outline or a sketch in a notebook of like what you'd like a finished product to look like eventually. Look at that and notice what you already have. So this card is encouraging you to pause and look at what you've already done. And this is also a good time to reevaluate what you have already done. So if what you're doing looks the way that you had kind of envisioned, or it's going in the direction that you're feeling really inspired by, then that's great. But now is also a good time, if you're feeling a little bit stuck and uninspired, consider, is this still inspiring to me? Is the outcome I am trying to accomplish with this still what I actually want it to be? Because sometimes it happens while we are doing any kind of creative endeavor that the initial inspiration doesn't actually like manifest in the final product, but it was the spark that got you started. So it was still a useful or relevant part of that process, even if, you were like, let's say you were going to paint a picture of, the sunrise, and it ends up turning into a cityscape or something. And it's just like, well, that's not what I had in mind. But the point is that sunrise idea had got you sitting down in front of your easel, which is what got you to this other painting. So even if you're feeling a little bit sad about not being able to produce that outcome that you had initially had, consider if where you actually want to be taking this is different from where you had initially started, and that is okay. It is okay if you switch directions. It's okay to replant your crops. It's okay to start over, even if you want to, because again, even if you are starting over from scratch, you started at that original idea. So let's ascend Seven of Pentacles for you. Stop and evaluate. What do you have in front of you? What have you already done? Do you still like it? Do you want to change directions? Up next, the moon came out. And this is again talking about how sometimes plans change. This card is showing us, or reminding you, that the moon is a reflection of the sun, of course. And it changes every single day, every single night. The moon is never the same moment to moment. And so your art might also be changing face, whatever this project is. There's also an element of intuition here as well. So make sure you're following your intuition, listening to your intuition as well. Also, with this card, there is an element of like dreaming, walking the edge between dreaming and nightmares, right? So there's the moon can be present or the moon can be dark, right? There can be light and there can be a dark moon. And if you are currently kind of experiencing a little bit more of the dark moon aspect, you might explore that area, one. It could be a fun place to find inspiration. Or don't let yourself get stuck there. So if you're feeling kind of dark, heavy, maybe a little bit nightmarish in some way, you know, like maybe the project has turned into a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I know I have, where you're just like, oh, this was such a good idea when I started, and now I'm completely lost, and it just feels terrible, and it can kind of feel like a nightmare. That is normal. That is a part of the process, and you don't have to get stuck there though, right? Because the moon changes every single night, and even when the moon is dark, there is no moon in the sky one night. The next night, there is a little tiny sliver of moon, right? The moon starts to come back the very next day. So know that even if you're in that dark, frustrated place of your creative process, it will not stay that way forever. And finally, with the moon card, this is also pointing to the cycles of creativity that we experience, that all creative people experience. And the movie Kiki's Delivery Service is like my classic go-to for this. And I go back to that movie over and over again because it is true every time. Where basically the point with that movie is that your creative process ebbs and flows. It comes and goes. Sometimes you are flying high, and other times you can't even pick up your art. You can't even sit down to write or paint or whatever your thing is. It just, nothing comes out when you sit down or stand up or whatever. Like if you're dancing, well, it doesn't work. There is no flow. But it comes back. And that's the point of the movie, is that it comes back. It can feel really dark and dreary, but then it comes back. So this moon card is just reminding you that there are cycles in every creative process. Every creative person experiences this. It's normal. So just remember that. So next up, we have the Ace of Wands. And of course, this is inspiration, right? So this is inspiration coming back. So you don't have to worry. Inspiration will be coming to you momentarily. At the end of that moon cycle, wherever you happen to be, boom, you will be getting a flash of inspiration. Don't you worry. Very exciting. The next, oh, actually, this is super, wow, there's a lot of wands coming out. Very creative, very fiery energy happening right now. So we had the Ace of Wands, followed by the Four of Wands. So that is stability, of course. And so wherever this inspiration is, or whatever this inspiration is that you're coming into right now, and you might have had it already, or you will probably, since you're here watching this video, you will probably be having this inspiration soon. It will be sustainable. So whatever insight or inspiration you have, excuse me, follow it, because it will lead you to something good. It will be stable. It won't be like a fleeting flash and then it's gone, or like, oh, I think this is a good path to go on, and then it disappears, because sometimes, I don't know, that happens in the creative process. So whatever insight or inspiration you'll be having will be a stable one that you'll be able to build off of. So that's exciting. With the Child of Wands coming out, this is page energy. So with the Child of Wands coming out, this is come at your project with a sense of curiosity. Be very open to all possibilities. So with the Wands energy, we've got that fiery passion, creative, you know, it's a very creative suit. But with the Page energy, it is a very playful, curious, childlike energy. So again, no matter what your project is, no matter what art form you're practicing right now, come at it with a childlike playfulness, curiosity. Just like explore what your art is. As I'm speaking, I'm feeling inspired to tell you, if you're feeling stuck with a certain project, set it down, put it aside and just say, you know what, you're just gonna sit there for a minute and it's okay. And then do something else. Like, do another creative activity. Maybe just set a timer for 10 minutes and just doodle, or just dance, or just pick up your guitar and just, or piano or whatever, and just like sing a song, like whatever. It doesn't have to be original, it could be a cover, but just like do something else creative. And that can help kind of spark that creativity as well. And then there's also, for me, another aspect of like this child of ones, is like, I don't know if you remember being a kid and like playing games with like the neighborhood kids, or you know, you're like on the playground at school or whatever. Maybe you had like a ton of siblings or something. But like maybe get together with other creative people or just friends and just like lose yourself in a fun evening, even if it's not a creative endeavor, but just like allow yourself to be distracted completely from whatever this project is that you're doing. Just don't even think about it. Go have fun with your friends, watch a movie together, or play board games together, or whatever it is that you guys do for fun. Just have a little party, just have a little day off. So that's what this child of ones is pointing to us. I also think that the image here, the way this spread fell out, well, fell out. Yeah, it's very symmetrical. So there you go. Yeah, just a lot of wands happening. So the wands to me look like pencils. If I was to make my own tarot deck, well, one of my many ideas would be, these would be pencils or paintbrushes, or like every card would have like a different implement, writing implement. Okay, so next up we have the 10 of Wands popping right out, and these look like magic wands. Right? These look like Harry Potter, proper Harry Potter wands. And so we're actually gonna read this one because I love this little booklet that we have here. Oh, and then one other thing about the Child of Wands is that there is optimism. So while you're experiencing that kind of fun, playful, creative exploration, curiosity, embrace also optimism, and maybe even a little bit of like youthful self-confidence of kind of like, I got this, you know, and you're like, before like that mature mindset sets in of like, I must be so serious about my art. Like, come at it with more like, hey, I got this, even if it's like, it doesn't come out well. It doesn't matter. Look, kids don't care. Okay, so with the 10 of Wands, we've got overextension and energetic clutter. Excellent. Good reminder. And honestly, that is exactly what this card looks like. We got too many magic wands in the hand. You're doing too much. And it's probably part of why you're here, stuck, feeling a little bit stuck, is that you're like thinking too much. You're just like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I, you know, which pen do I pick up? Which color do I want? Let's see what this card has to say. So, the 10 of Wands teaches you that you cannot do everything at once. Being a multi-passionate person is a good thing until you become bogged down with more than you can actually take on. Guilty. Other ones cards hint at the risk of overexertion. Here, that risk has become a reality. So you're probably doing too much. You're probably trying a little too hard at this thing. Yeah. So something to consider is, how can you clear away the clutter that is within and around you? So maybe literally clear off your desk. Maybe go for a walk to clear your head, or do a meditation or breath work, or whatever it is that you like to do to like empty out your head. Reaffirm your priorities, and remember that it's necessary to say no sometimes. You can't constantly push forward. You may need to simply take a break to set down all of those wands and to re-examine the big picture. Sorry, I had like a timer app going on my phone and I forgot to turn it off. So if you keep hearing dinging, it's my phone. But it's also maybe little reminders that you should be paying attention to this particular message right now. So that's the 10 of Wands, is you probably are doing too much, or you're pounding at this door a little too hard and taking on more than necessary. Frankly, it's more than necessary. You don't need to be worrying so much about this. The thing with like being a creative person and being involved in any kind of project is that you're like, I just want it to be done, right? And we kind of forget the joy of creation itself. And I would say that this is especially true in the middle of a project, right? So at the beginning of a project, you're just so excited to be there. You're so excited to start the project. And then at the end of the project, you're just like getting excited that it's starting to finally take shape and come together. But there's that like infinite stretch in between the beginning and the end that can feel endless, that you're like, I don't even know why I started this. Like, what was I thinking? Like, it's never going to end. It's not taking shape. Everything is a disaster. My desk is a mess. I've got 50,000 tabs open on my computer. Whatever it is that you're doing, that's normal. I would urge you to just clear the whole thing away. Don't start from zero. Like, it's not saying throw away the project, but just like put away your art supplies and then pull them out again as you come back to it, as the inspiration strikes. So speaking of which, we've got the 8 of Pentacles coming out, and this is a busy bee card, right? You've got your work cut out for you, and you want to do it. You are feeling a sense of like duty. You want to be productive, and you're really putting a lot of effort into this thing. And I think that this is a very interesting pairing of cards, because there's a part of you that's like, this is what I'm doing. Like, maybe this is like a God-given mission, or like a God's, like you're like, I'm doing this for God. Like, I'm doing this for the greater good. Like, this is my spirit doing this. And so you might have like this really dedicated sense of like, I'm doing this for something greater than myself. But you also have to remember that you also have a self, and that self also deserves to be honored. And I know sometimes it can be tempting to just like forget that you have a self and just go whole ham on serving your community, your people, your God, your whatever. But you also need to take care of yourself. So this pairing is telling you to just, while you can honor that dedication and that excitement and that passion, take time for yourself. And then we've got the 2 of Cups coming out, which in this instance I'm hearing is usually this would be kind of like a romantic card, or like a pair, like a coupling of some kind, maybe even teamwork. But in this case, I'm seeing like, just have a cup of tea. Like, sit down, have a cup of tea. Maybe you want to talk to another artist or just another person. Maybe it's those friends I was telling about earlier, have a movie night or whatever. Maybe have some tea or whatever drink of choice, kombucha. Relax, right? Take it easy. I really love this card. With the 2 of Cups in this instance, I'm hearing that there is like the energy, you've got like the emotional energy coming in, and I'm seeing that in this instance you are having a cup of tea with the muse, right? So this is you sitting down with the muse to have a cup of tea, whatever the muse is for you. Just to like slow down. This is really saying slow down and like come back to that inspiration, like the muse. Come back to the muse and just kind of talk to the muse, talk to your project. Maybe not like physically talk to the actual like canvas or computer or whatever it is, and guitar or whatever. Step back, go make some tea, go make some kombucha, whatever it is that you're doing, hot cocoa, smoothie, and just be like, right, where do you want to go, project? I know that we started out as this one direction, like this one vision. Is that still what you want? And just really allow that, like we were talking about with the 7 of Pentacles at the very beginning of this reading, kind of, yeah, this 2 of Cups is like an opportunity to just sit back and do that, a little bit of self-reflection. So yeah, this is encouraging you to contact that muse again. So the good news is that once you're done pausing and reevaluating, and I think that you will be getting that spark of inspiration once again, things are going to start moving really fast. With the 8 of Wands coming out, it's just gonna, like, you're gonna get that spark, that Ace of Wands, and you're just gonna be like, oh, I got it. And it's gonna just take you right where you wanted to go. And it might not be where you thought you were going, right? So again, like the project might take its own direction. That can happen. But don't worry too much about that. Just let's let the passion take you, right? So I love that this is saying, like, slow down so that you can go again, right? So you need to like fill up your cup, drink some tea, like calm down, and then things will start moving really fast for you. So exciting. Speaking of tea, love me some tea. I love me some tea. Speaking of which, the very next card popping out is the the Ace of Cups. So have a third cup of tea. Yeah. So I think this is paired with the Eight of Wands here, and so this is like, again, a very emotional card. So here we've got emotional energy and raw feeling. So with the Ace of Cups saturates you with emotional energy. This cup is a vessel that holds space for all feelings: love and disdain, happiness and sorrow, peace and discomfort. No feeling states are labeled as good or bad here. All are allowed to be held. Beautiful. So with that Eight of Wands that fastness that's coming out, it will be energetically charged. You will feel very emotional about this. You're gonna, like, I don't necessarily want to say that you're gonna have like a fiery passion of like, I've got it. Like, I've got the perfect spark. There might, funny enough, it might actually be fueled by frustration. Like, you might end up just throwing paint at a wall, right? And just like seeing what happens, right? Just hit record on your whatever device and just sing as loud and as nonsensical as you can, right? Just like let out all of that emotion, whatever it is, whatever your chosen creative outlet is. Just do it loud. just get it all out. Actually, that's fun advice. So allow yourself to be swept up in that emotion while channeling it into this art project, whatever it is. And it might also, it might not become a part of the final product, but something that I'm being called to remind you of right now is that the creative process is a fickle mistress, for sure. And sometimes actions that you take in the process don't end up in the final product at all, or might feel like you're procrastinating or on a side tangent, or like whatever, label it however you want. Excuse me again, my goodness. But even if it doesn't, it's not productive, or it doesn't like add to the product that you're working on, you're still channeling that energy into something. So I really like this. It's just kind of like, yeah, mix it all together. Just this is, of course, also with the Ten of Cups coming out, this is like wish fulfillment and satisfaction. So when you're done, you will feel better. You're gonna be like, oh, oh, now I know what to do, right? And just like let it go. And actually, I feel like that is the end of the reading right there. Yeah, could it end better than that? The Ten of Cups is a truly joyous card. And in this case, it really does look like just throw it all at the wall. Just go make yourself a batch of cookies or something. Like, don't fret. Don't even worry about it. So I'm gonna end it there. That feels like a really good ending. And I wish you the best, my friend. I really hope that this reading inspired you to maybe sit down your project, go do something else, or to just freak out for a minute, and maybe that freak out will let you access some emotional state that will give you the inspiration that you've been seeking to move past this writer's block of sorts, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. And I cannot wait to hear how your project comes out. Please let me know. If you're a writer, or if you're making anything that can be linked online, comment a link below and I would love to see what you're working on right now. I got another ding for that, so if you feel called, go ahead and send me that information, because I would love to see what you're working on right now. Yeah, until the next time, my friend, it has been an honor and a joy to read for you today. Archangel Michael says hello, and I wish you the best. Until next time, my friend, blessed be, and may peace go with you. Bye.